The streaming TV wars were predicted over 25 years ago. A clear vision and plan to digitally unify the broadcasters and studios for consumer a la carte video consumption over the internet began. From its beginnings with the creation of pre-buffering to ultimately replacing video player giants such as Real Player and Microsoft Media Player in 1999, to streaming over 800,000 full-length popular motion pictures a day in 2000. Delivering the world's first complete dynamic smart guide of TV shows, movies, and channels to millions in 2010. And now, the launch of streaming media's most comprehensive super aggregation ecosystem. In 2024, consumers will finally unite with all the media on all their devices and all from one platform. Industry revenues remain intact, and consumer fragmentation and confusion is no more.
I was involved in a streaming project, and I was trying to apply the streaming because what was happening in the world in 1997 and 98 was consumers were dealing with computers. Idealistically, you were trying to be able to watch some form of video. Pictures were already hard enough to transport because the bandwidth wasn't so good. It was really a cool thing for us because we had gotten involved in the Israeli army, and there was a codec that they had come up with an algorithm to kind of compress video. And the video was kind of always wrapped around, in these days, Microsoft Media Player, or the biggest guy was Real Player. And the consumer had to download the exe file into the computer. They had to wait for that to unload, pop it open. Then they had to download a video. And if you were downloading a 30-minute video, it took you a while to download 30 minutes. And then when it was all said and done, you had to buffer the whole video. And so that process to watch a 30-minute video might have taken you an hour. We were very fortunate because the codec that we got in our hands on allowed us to set the basis for what today is called pre-buffering. So it would start streaming, buffering behind it, and eliminating all those complications and things that consumers had to go through. So what was really cool about being part of that and in creating that streaming video experience, we had lawyers at the time at Greenberg Traurig, I'll never forget, and Joel Katz was the entertainment lawyer for Greenberg. He immediately hooked us up with guys everybody in Hollywood. And so I decided, well, if the Hollywood studios have an interest, let's form a company. Netflix at the time started the move to take out Blockbuster. I was working with some promotion things at the time, and I was asked in a couple of publications and things about them because I was Mr. Video, pioneer guy, whatever. And interestingly enough, I said two things. I said, number one, they better have a lot of money for digital rights management, because if they're going to create a streaming service, the guys that I know are expecting to get paid from these audiences, and it's very important for the studios to establish position, and digital rights management had become law and written. Digital rights management was going to be a big thing because it was going to carry over to online. And the second thing is everybody's going to be a channel one day. I knew all those different content providers. They were going to really need to be the company that would license their assets to someone who was going to bundle them together and make them available, because it was already happening in VHSs and then the DVDs. I decided to make it a business, and then we launched FreeCast formally in July of 2011. What I knew I wanted to do is I wanted to go back on the theory of, let's come forward. How do we get people to aggregate? Let's take some events and let's look at that first. We started wanting to build a guide. We figured if we could educate people on a guide, they would know where to go. So Kevin and I grabbed a format off of Facebook, and we said, let's put a Facebook page up, and then we're gonna put the video clip in it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start distributing out and gathering all our friends and all our people and everybody to link to us, and everybody started linking. We knew exactly what we wanted to do. We started hiring people. We started building out our page. And our attitude at that point with FreeCast is we figured we were gonna be another Facebook. We knew we had something. We knew people wanted to see live content. We started looking at how to get live feeds, because I wanted to reassemble all the content back 1998, 1999, 2000 in our format, and we wanted to build one common aggregate format that we could deliver all this to replicate what cable looked like at the time. So we essentially took that logic and started building a cable-like experience through the web. And by gathering up all this content, we were dealing with so many different types of technologies. Once again, you couldn't buy this stuff in 2012. Somebody saw it at a show. Somebody was showing it once we got it up. And we had called it Smart Guide. And we thought we were going to be the coolest TV guide in the world at that point, still thinking we're going to give it away. Out of nowhere, some guys called, asked if they could come by and visit us, and this was in October of 2012. They were for a company called Telebrands. They go, hey, we're interested in this product, and we'd like to sell it in major national retailers. We have this idea. We'll call it Rabbit TV. What's the moral of the story? Sold millions. I was very proud to be involved in that, but I wasn't satisfied. It wasn't what my dream was back in 98, 99. It was a first step, and it was a financial step that helped the company, and we signed in November 2012. They had the stuff produced in the United States. They ran some tests on December 26th when they first put media out, the day after Christmas. Kevin was calling me, holy cow, they're shipping that stuff already. February 13th, they hit the stores. The rest is history. It was a huge win-win-win. But we were truly wanting to go back to what I wanted to deliver back in 1999, 2000. While that was a great guide and delivery system for consumers to find content online under that smart guide approach, we wanted to deliver a wireless cable system. And that's kind of what happened. At that point, once mobile came out, you started seeing everybody building apps. And everybody else was going to do their own thing. They were going to build their own. And they did. And the world became the beginning of streaming apps. We started working on connecting a lot of the services in that so that we could try to revitalize what our next round was going to be. And we started moving forward on the real vision today, which was SelectTV. SelectTV was really focused around your ability to have everything in one place. So that's when we really put the hammer down and focused on the idea we got to bring all the video in. So we did. We went out and we got a better team. I mean, the first person I went after was Tracy West. And I said, Tracy, this is what I'm doing. You know, have some faith and confidence that if we pull all the media together and the consumer can come in here and start building their own personal media, technical words were media profile. We started going to the shows, educating people on the idea behind aggregation, how devices could be, all this stuff could be managed. Our interfaces began to grow and get better. And today, I come all the way back to today, we have all the channels aggregated. And so what we did in our on-demand TV shows and movies is we allow people to, when they're onboarding, we're gonna give you all the free movies that are available, the Crackles, the Tubies, the Voodoos. But if you have your Netflix or you have Hulu, you add those subscriptions to it, and they're bordered, it just says I'm subscribed to these, and on these, I'm getting these for free. I can get to all of it in one search. I can see all the top site information. I'm not app diving. Everything, you have a visual down into it, where it's at, what show it is, when it's available. Am I subscribed? Am I not subscribed to it? But here's the best part. In my account section, I have a daily total of what my spending is of all the services that I have. And if I want to click a button and send a message and say, hey, I want to pause or cancel that service, I can pause and cancel that service. So there has to be a mediation for when all these things happen, that the consumer needs to come to one place to get everything.
The traditional model of cable and satellite television has faded, replaced by a myriad of streaming services. While this offers unprecedented access to content, it also fragments the viewing experience, leaving consumers overwhelmed and confused. A new solution has emerged, a unified, agnostic platform that consolidates content from various providers into a single, seamless experience. FreeCast is at the forefront of this new frontier, breaking down the barriers between content providers and consumers, empowering viewers to watch what they want, when they want, and how they want. By sharing infrastructure and resources, FreeCast is significantly reducing costs for both providers and consumers. Additionally, a wealth of data that can be used to optimize content, advertising, and the user experience. As technology continues to evolve, so too is the way we consume content. The future of television is bright, and FreeCast is leading the charge.